Alright, so we are looking at the tier 2, level 15, 16, getting going, guide. We're going to break this into a couple parts because there's a few phases here. The first one is just knocking off our tier 2 ward as quick as we can so we can focus on tier 3. The easiest ward I believe to get is the Keeper set from the Sewers quest. I am in the southeast corner of Altdorf. Right where you land, there is a person called an Archmage called a Guild Recruiter. She has the first quest. Click her right, fly to Altdorf, click her right on the way by. It's called, I believe it's called the Sewers of Altdorf. There we go. So she has this, which will send you down to the southeast corner. The southeast corner has the rest of the quests, so you'll have to click Ron's here. And then each of these people has a quest. This is a repeatable, you don't really need to do, but it's good experience, so grab it. And you're going to do it anyways. And then there's 5 other people here. Each one has an armor piece that they will give you for doing part of the Sewers quest. It's going to take you anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour and a half to maybe 2.5 hours if you're super unlucky getting a Sewers group together. You're just going to have to keep an eye out for people. You can always queue scenarios or do open RVR while you're trying to get that group going. But what Sewers is going to want you to do is go first wing. You can see it's on the right there. Sewers of Altdorf, quest waypoint, Altdorf Sewers, first wing. Up here it says second wing. Then it says third wing. There we go, third wing. If you do them in order, you will be able to complete the Sewers of Altdorf quest with no problems. This quest requires you to kill some objects in each dungeon, and then talk to a guy in the dungeon. So you gotta kill like 6 things in here, talk to a guy, and then he asks you to kill 6 things in here and talk to a guy. Kill 6 things in here, talk to a guy, you're done. That quest is gonna give you a huge chunk of XP you're not gonna want to skip. It's also gonna give you an item to get back to Altdorf here for free, kind of like a book of binding, and it lasts 30 days, so why not grab that? The Sewers quests themselves will give you an armor piece, and we can look at what they are. So this is the repeatable. There's no need to actually complete this unless you are an old player trying to get back into this and you go, I don't have, these quests aren't available. Maybe you did the first part of these quests and then the game knocked out your progress, which used to be, the old system used to be do this quest, then go kill players in a scenario, then come back and turn it in. So if you're an old player and you're jumping on your character and you come here and you don't have any quests available, yet you don't have any armor from doing Sewers, and you have maybe your quest log here is empty, the only way for you to get Sewers is to do this repeatable 5 times. Don't do that. Just, your character's kind of boned on tier 2 set. Just go get one of the PvP ones, which we'll look at here shortly. For everyone else, you do this quest, he's going to ask you to kill a boss. You're going to come back to him after you kill this dude, and he's going to give you the chest piece. Alright, there's 5 pieces. It's got a decent set bonus for all classes. It's a healing / tanking set. So it's not going to be, if you're a DPS Archmage, it's not going to be plus intelligence. It's going to be plus willpower. So for some classes, you might want to skip this, depending on your spec and how you plan to play. But for 99% of players, you're going to want this set. It's going to maximize your power going into the RVR lake. So again, that might take 30 minutes, might take 2 hours to get a group together. You need a healer, a tank, and DPS to get through there. Really, you just need a healer and a tank. DPS just speeds it up. You cannot do it without a tank. It maybe if a level 40 player comes in there and helps you clear it out, they could, white line or someone could be the tank. So get those quests, get looking for a group. If you can't find a group, start putting one together. Get 2 healers, get a tank or 2, get 2 DPS, maybe 3 DPS if you only can find a single tank. I've also done it with 1 healer. It just puts a lot of stress on that healer, especially if the tank is a low-level tank, because they're probably not rocking good gear and they got low armor, and armor is the only thing that matters in PvE. Armor, parry, block. So then ride over to the southwest portion, the war quarter. This is where you're going to go back to a lot on your way to 40 to keep getting gear upgrades. And we'll start with the other options besides keepers. So ride down into this little tunnel. We're going to look at the armory just to check the ward system. So recruit ward, we should have gotten tier 1. If we didn't, we have to go back and get that, or get keepers. Because the keepers does not check if you have a tier 1 ward, it'll let you equip it. As far as I know, I never get the tracker, so it's not like that doesn't exist. But as far as I know, these other three will check if you have completed a tier 1 ward. And I call it tier 1 because there's a Roman numeral 1 there. There's a Roman numeral 2, 3, 4. Then these have other marks, so this would be 4 plus, 4 plus plus, 4 plus plus plus. So tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 ward, and then the plus wards. So Scout Ward, you have a couple options. You can get your Obliterator, which is this guy right here. It says Equip Obliterator. Here, there he is. It says Equip Challenger. All right, this guy's got the Challenger armor. Now, the good thing about the Obliterator and the Challenger is that these gloves and these boots are bind on equip, which means two things. One, you can buy them off the auction house, usually for pretty cheap, and not have to spend 50 crests on those two pieces. So tier 2 ward really only costs 50 crests because you can buy these. Also, because they're buying on equip, they drop in scenarios off players. That's how you're seeing those listings on the auction house. Just people get them in scenarios, they don't want them, they sell them. So you can get a tier 2 ward for 50 crests, which isn't a whole lot, and basically have no effort put in. But what you're going to lack is a shoulder piece and a helm, and you're going to lack the set bonus that keepers will give you. So this is 27 willpower, 1 salvation. This has like 27 willpower, a proc, salvation. It's got like 3 or 4 things on it if you got the keeper set. Sorry, not this purple thing, but the actual keeper set. So I always get the keeper set. I don't find it incredibly hard to get a group together to do it. And occasionally I have friends that'll play that are level 40 and they will just speedrun me through it if I really can't find anyone else. So making friends certainly helps. Like I said, or maybe I didn't mention it, but you can always beg people to help power level you through it. If you get a group together and you're a healer and you get DPS, you can, any 40 tanks or high level tanks help us do sewers. And if you ask enough, someone probably will join and help you out. Because it doesn't take any time at all. It takes under an hour if you got a high-level tank to do all 3 wings combined. Alright, so that's like our tier 2 set. We're going to come back on the next episode and kind of look at our tier 3 options. But tier 2, you're looking at Obliterator, you're looking at Challenger, or Keepers. The next thing you're going to want to do is come to this Challenger guy and grab a weapon or 2, which you will not be able to use until level 20, but you probably will have the crests already to equip it. There's no better alternative at level 20 than these. So your class, you'll have one-handers and two-handers if they can use them. It'll have an offensive focus set like melee crit, and it'll have a defensive focus set like healing chance. If I was a tank, this would have melee crit and block. If I was DPS, it would have like melee crit and crit reduction, like less chance to be crit. So there's always like an offensive and a defensive focused item, but there's plenty of options you can get. Buy one of these, buy 2 of these if you have the crests, buy the one-hander and the book for a warrior priest. If you're rocking 2-handers, I guess you only have one option but to buy a 2-handed weapon. And that's going to cost you 38 crests. The next upgrade after that will be from this duelist person. If I had the crests and I was sitting here, I would at least buy one of these level 24 weapons right away. They're 25 crests. These have AP on them. This is the first AP regen item you can get in the game. Realistically, for most players, I would have to check if there's something you can get below level 24, but I think this is the first you can get. So a lot of classes are AP starved in tier 2, and this is the first time you can pick something up. If you have the crest, you're going to want both. You're going to want the in this case, the hammer and the book, but the sword and the shield. You're going to want the 2-hander with the AP on it. Because that's the first time you're going to figure out that your AP isn't restricting your damage. But you can grab the 20 weapon, grab a 24 or 2. Alright, the next thing we're going to look at is accessory options. So in tier 1, you might have saw these guys at the war camp that sold you some entry-level jewelry. Well, there is a upgraded version for tier 2. Some tier 3 guys and tier 4 guys. They all have jewelry that's pretty cheap. It's cheaper than anything you're going to find in the auction house for the most part. And it's definitely cheaper than anything you're going to find from a chapter merchant. So there's a level 13 that you could have upgraded in tier 1 here. And then there is a level 18 version that we're looking at upgrading our stuff to when we hit level 18. So buy the ones that correspond to your class's stats that they need. And you will be ready to use these at level 18. Again, they're all unique. In tier 1 you could use the same one 4 times. In tier 2, you can see it says jewelry accessory item level 20 unique. That means I can only equip one duelist ornament of conquest on my character at a time. The icon doesn't matter. The stats don't matter. Just the name. I can't have two of the same name item equipped over here. It'll just not let you. So don't waste your money buying two. You know, ooh, I really love Wound's weapon skill. Or Wound's ballistic skill. I'm going to buy 4 of these. Well, you're going to be sad when you have to sell the other 3 back for, you know, 60% loss or whatever the guy gives you. He doesn't give you your money back. But buy 4 jewelry pieces. Get ready to equip those at level 18. Alright, just going back to upload this, and I realized I kind of skipped a part here too that we want to cover. So just a couple levels later. But while you're here, you're also going to want to buy a horse if you haven't gotten one yet. Or I guess if you're a dwarf, it'd be like a gyrocopter. But you're going to need this to go out into open RVR. If you don't get it, you're going to be at a speed disadvantage versus everyone else, and you will get picked off being at the end by, you know, regen witch elves that target lobies are going to pick you out, and they're going to kill you and the 3 other slow people and think they're awesome. So unless you want to be on that YouTube video of the regen witch elf killing 4 people at the same time because they all had slow mounts, what you're going to want to do is go upgrade your mount right over here for 10 gold. You can get it cheaper if you fly to Troll Country. In this war camp, there's a siege master, I think it is, and he will sell you a mount for 8 gold. Sometimes it's worth flying over there and grabbing it. Sometimes you're already here, you just buy the 10 gold one. It doesn't matter. If you want the other options, color options, you have to go to the Dwarf City. There, so he's got this one. Go to the double colored chestnut here, and this light tan one back here, light brown one. Now, if you wanted the black one, if you wanted the dark bay, or if you wanted the white one, or is that white or gray? Gray. You actually have to go to the Dwarf City, and the Dwarf City mount merchant will have all 6 colors for the 10 gold. This one only has 3, and then this guy would have the other 3. Right. And if you want the 100 gold ones later that are these colors, again, you gotta go to the Dwarf City. He has them all. So that's one change with the Dwarf City. And we are gonna head to the Dwarf City next anyways to get one more item. I already have it on this character. It is a 80 hit points for every 4-second regen pocket item. We're also gonna get a couple renown pots. And then you can get a unique trophy if you want, or you can, instead of getting this unique trophy, which is this giant bell on my waist, you can get another renown pot. So I will jump to another character that needs this keg, and we will run through how to get that. We're going to fly to the Dwarf City, and I will continue with a character that is at that step. Alright, we're jumping on a sword master that I have not played in about 3.5 years. So let's see what this guy looks like. So to get to the Dwarf City, we were just down here. Come all the way back up to the Flight Master. Go to Dwarf Greenskin Pairing. And then fly to this Karak is the Dwarf City. You land. And you land, I guess this is considered the flight deck. And there's a portal in the back that we need to run through, which takes us to the main level, which is this big thing, and we're heading right to the middle of the entire thing. So come in here, hang a left. This place is ginormous. And we'll just zoom ahead to, again, right to the middle where my green pointer is. Alright, so we are right in the middle where I was pointing. We're talking to this living ancestor guy. He gives you a quest called Social Values. And the help tips are running right now, because I haven't played this guy in so long that he still gets help tips. So, he's going to tell you to talk to like an old dwarf. He's out on this outcrop straight west. So head west, run all the way over here, and we'll zoom ahead. Alright, so we're approaching the first guy. It's this giant dwarf with an anvil. We just click him once. He's going to offer you a quest. Do not take that. You just have to click him. Social Values is done. You can see it turned red on the map. We're running right back to where we were, and we'll jump ahead to the turn-in. Alright, so we're back at the guy in the middle. He's going to tell you, take a renown pot. And then he's going to give you the same quest again. So you can see in your inventory you have this little purple pot. That's your renown pot. We're going to get 3 of those, perhaps even 4, if we don't take the trophy. And he's going to give you the same quest, well, not the same quest, but the same named quest over and over. So now he wants you to find something that symbolizes great wealth. It's in this first blue room on the left. Purple, I guess, maybe. So head west, and you can see the door from right here. It's the auction hall. Presumably there's an auction house in here. Click the gold nugget on the table, and then head right back out the door. If you're quick, you can make it without having to re-click the door. Alright, that's the second renown pot. Now he's going to give us the quest again. And before we run over there, we'll go right to where my green pointer is. So it's kind of on the east-southeast side here. We're going to go down the hall, take a right, and then we're going to take a left. He's his name's like Snorri Nosebiter, so we'll jump ahead to him. Alright, so he is right here. We click him just like all the other ones. Instead of running right back to the middle, drop down. And if Snorri isn't up there when you run up there for some reason, just stand there for a few seconds. He might zone in a little slow. I've seen that happen. But then run all the way east, straight east of where Snorri was. And we're going to talk to this Master Brewer guy. This is for that regeneration keg. He wants us to go to these 3 rooms. But first we're going to turn in this social values quest, because part 4 wants us to go up here as well. So we're going to kind of go to the same area and knock out 2 quests in one. So once you pick up the keg quest here, head back to the middle, and I'll jump ahead to that. Now we're back at the middle. We're going to turn this in, get our 3rd renown pot. Now he's offering us part 4, which is our reward options are a renown pot or 2 unique trophies. I showed the bell on my warrior priest there. I think I have another character that has the clock I've shown at some point. I'm just going to pick up the renown pot on this guy, who I never play. I actually have another swordmaster anyways. So head straight up to the green area. When you get right inside, take a right. There's a ramp. We're going up the ramp. And then it's the first door here. We're at the first area for the keg quest. So after you go through this door, you'll see on my screen a couple blinking kegs here. That symbolizes they're part of a quest. So click them both. You should get 1 of 1 on each of them. And to confirm you did it right, just look at your map. That area will no longer be highlighted. And then just head down the ramp to the east. Right up into this little tavern here. Now there's 2 quests in here. Social values is this Thorgrim guy, so let's click him once. And you'll see social values, 1 of 1, social values done. So that's the first part. And then in the back of the room, there's some flashing kegs. So let's click those. Until we get 1 of 1 and 1 of 1. Check our map. Area is no longer red. We're good to go. Then head out, take a left. And there's like 1 more bar right down here. Right up these stairs. Again, it's going to be 2 kegs in the back behind the bar. They should be flashing. Sometimes they're not, but for the most part they point themselves out by flashing at you. So 1 of 1, 1 of 1. Now we look at our map, we got 2 turn-ins. We got taste and see, we got social values. We're going to just do it in a big loop. So head out, take a left, head through the big gate, and we're going to jump ahead to the Master Brewer, who's just down the hall here. Alright, Master Brewer, first turn-in, he's going to give you a part 2. He'll ask you to drink his special brew. There's 1 on one side of the room, 1 on the other. Click both those, turn it in. And now they just added this as a repeatable. Now you can't equip 2 of these, but if you accidentally delete it for some reason, you can come back and get another keg. So he just awarded us the keg. It's in our inventory. We're going to right click it. It goes down in one of your 2 pocket slots here. Sometimes you might have something that dropped off, like a mob you killed. Like a lot of animals will drop pocket items that if you equip help you unlock tomb entries and get trophies and stuff like that. So you might have something in these slots already that you need to unequip. I usually trash those, like, you know, it'll be like a bat wing or a wolf claw or something. Trash those. You can always go get those again. They drop all the time from the correct mobs. They will drop nonstop. And when you right click it, it's equipped. Now we're getting 80 hit points every 4 seconds. And we are heading right back to the middle to turn in social values, the last part. Alright, he's going to give you the 2 trophy choices or renown pot. We're taking the renown pot because I've taken the trophy choices on so many other characters. To get out of here, I usually just war report if I can. Otherwise, you got to go back to the flight deck, fly back, whatever. If you did sewers, you can use that little return to Altdorf hammer thing. But now we are back, and we are good for Tier 2. I mean, presumably we have finished sewers. We got our jewelry set up. We got our pocket keg. You should be around level 18, 19 at this point if you did sewers. If you didn't do sewers, you're going to be like level 16. That's the first time you can get this keg quest. So you might be able to get these renown pots at like level 1, but I usually wait until I'm going to the Dwarf City anyways to pick up the keg. But you actually might be able to get these earlier because they are minimum rank 1, so I guess keep that in mind for a new character as well. If you really want a 25% renown boost in Tier 1, you can always go pick it up. I don't think that's smart to use it in Tier 1. But that is the gear guide starting out in Tier 2. And then we'll jump to the next part, which is going to be kind of looking at the armor sets in the 20s for our Tier 3 ward. And then we'll do another video for the Tier 4 armor in the 30s. And I'll put up a guide for the sewers itself. I was going to add it to this series, but or this group of videos, but I think some people are going to want to skip that or not look at that at all. So that'll be on here as well, a guide to the sewers itself, just so you can see like what it looks like, what the champions and heroes and stuff in there are. And I don't know if I have any commentary on it or not, but we'll put something up so you get an idea of what the sewers is and how to do it. And you should have basically a guide on what armor to get into the teens, the 20s, the 30s, how to do the sewers, and then maybe I'll put like a sweat lord, how to maximize your stats in each tier with accessories that are not based on the renowned jewelry. So there are chapter jewelry you can start buying at level 15, which if you buy them from the chapters cost a ton of gold. Sometimes you can find them on the auction house for a lot cheaper, but they have more concentrated stats for your class. So you can get strength, toughness, strength, weapon skill, pure strength, pure intelligence, and it's really the only way to soft cap your stats if you're after like soft capping strength or toughness or intelligence or ballistics. You're going to have to go with the chapter jewelry route, and we'll do like a sweat lord try hard guide to that on how to get that, and maybe we'll throw in how to get purple talismans or at least high level, you know, blue ones for your class to make sure that, like I got the 24 set here. We'll show you how to get level 24 blue or purple talismans to throw in it, so that'll be an extra as well. And then stay tuned.